Hello there, fellow Dazzlers and new players alike. Razzlejoster here, taking you on a trip through time to the future as we take a look at Magical Drop 6. And I'm going to get this out of the way. It breaks my heart to say this, but not even Best Goal Judgment can save this game, because I do not like this game at all. Okay, there are enjoyable things about it. I do think the gameplay is a little bit slower than Magidro 3, but still enjoyable. Some of the animations are cute. I'm not really a big fan of the sliding around, tweening kind of motion that they do, even though they added extra budget to some of the animations, if you will. But it's just... the big thing that really kills it for me are the obnoxious unlock requirements for the characters. Now, I'm not against unlocks in video games. Last game we covered in this series was Bloody Roar 2 for the PlayStation, which is fun times, furry morphin, awesome, and it has 2 unlockable characters. You get Gato the Lion, who serves as a final boss in the arcade mode, and a lot of character story modes, by clearing story mode at least once. Okay, and then you unlock
Shenlong the Tiger
by completing arcade mode without continuing, including the fight against Shenlong the Tiger. Because if you lose to him, then you just get the normal ending for arcade mode. Right, that's simple enough. Or looking at the Magical Drop 3 released for PlayStation in Japan and in PAL regions, and not America for some reason, you can unlock a lot of secret characters. I believe it is it's Moon, Hanged Man, Hermit, Tower, Fortune, and Temperance by clearing arcade mode at least once. At least it did in my copy I was playing. And then you can unlock Black Period if you complete... if you manage to encounter Black Period and defeat him in arcade mode. Okay, that's fair enough. But in this game, you don't even get hardly any characters, right? Like, I mean, there are free DLC characters that you get, including Best Goal Judgment, so there's that. But you want to play as the Empress? No! What you have to do is fulfill some kind of obtuse requirement in order to unlock them. You start off with a few characters. I think it's Lovers, Justice, and World, but other than that, you get nobody outside of the free DLC characters. So, let me put it to you like this. How many of you guys played Super Smash Bros. Or Mortal Kombat, right? Or Street Fighter? Imagine you got the new Mortal Kombat game, and you're like, oh my god, Mortal Kombat 2, because NetherRealm still can't title games. And you slap that bad boy on your hard drive, you download it, and you find out that the only characters you can play as is, like, Liu Kang, Sub-Zero, and Sonya, and everybody else has to be unlocked before you can even play them, even in online mode. You'd be like, wow, I thought NetherRealm could screw this franchise up even more, but they surprised me. That's what it's like. You know, it's just, I don't want to have to spend a lot of time doing obnoxious unlocks, and I don't mind unlockable characters, and even going back to Smash Brothers Melee, I used to play that a lot, and they had a lot of unlockable characters, but you still had a lot of characters to play with, though. You had like a whole freaking 10-character roster, 10-plus characters, whatever. You had a nice character roster to play as, and more to unlock as you play the game. And yeah, those were rather arcane, and that is a point against the game. But you still had people you liked playing as, and that's the whole press here. If they had locked off, like, say, Fortune, and like the stronger secret and boss characters from Magical Drop 3. So Fortune, Hermit, Tower, Temperance, Hangman, and Moon. If they were unlocked off and you had to unlock them through some means, I wouldn't mind that. But no, it's everybody you want to play as, unless it's Best Goal Judgment or any of the other unlocked characters. And that is what really... and that just really melts my chocolate in a coin-dropping contest, if you see what I mean. It makes it to where I think about playing the game, and I'm like, why am I going to play this when Magidro 3 exists, and I can play that? And if you're wondering about how you can even obtain easily obtain the game without having to pay for a PCB board or turn to other methods to get it, I think it's the ACA. It's an arcade series where they're re-releasing older arcade games. You actually could get Magical Drop 3 in that series, at least for PC, I know. Probably for Switch and some other systems, so bada bing, bada boom, there you go! Boom! There's other things in the game that leave me wanting to. The gameplay doesn't feel as fast and frantic as Magical Drop 3. And I know the PS1 port, that does kind of run a little bit slower, but it feels like there's something just lacking here. I can't quite put my furry clawed finger on it. It's just like there's something that is missing. Imagine you have, 3 sides of the triangle and you're missing the hypotenuse. I think part of that also is I just don't dig the animation style. Like, the artwork is cute and all, but it's the way they kind of just slide around. And they do try to get a little bit fan servicey in it. Like, if you look at Death's animations, her chest do be a jiggle, but it doesn't kind of make sense when you look at the movement of it. And, like, they do this thing where, like, World... It's a little jiggly when she's in her default state animation. And then they don't do the one where she's like jumping up and down like in Magic Joe 3. I'm like, guys, it was there! You could have recreated the classic! But anyways, it just kind of looks off, And I'm not just talking about the boobies. I'm talking about like the animation in general. It just kind of feels like it's lacking some kind of... Again, the hypotenuse missing. And I actually went back and revisited Magical Drop 5, and it was great when the game decided to actually work and not crash on me. And I think what this game is missing is atmosphere. For all the faults that 5 had, 5 felt like it was going for a mood. You kind of got like this kind of mysterious, like you were stepping into this weird arcanum world, and they did try to do some things that were different. One, they told you the whole drop pattern, which is another issue I have when you select the character in versus mode. They don't tell you the drop pattern. It's just, here's the bubbles. And it doesn't tell you, like, what columns get pushed down or not. Magic Hero 5 kind of does. And the cool thing about the single-player mode was that you actually... It would fan out all the characters in the deck of cards, and then you picked who your next battle was. I don't remember if, like, the final battle was always going to be between, like, Fortune or Empress or whatever, but it was kind of cool. Yeah, final battle was always going to be Fortune. But... it was cool that you kind of got to pick out what order you played everybody, rather than like in I think Magic Draw 3, the arcade version. It's kind of the same, relatively same paths. I think the PlayStation 1 version actually you can end up fighting people in a different order, which is interesting. But that's kind of cool. Like it's like they're trying to create some kind of mystique with the game, and I feel like Magical Drop 6 is missing that. On top of the annoying as hell unlock requirements. Don't get me started. An earlier version of this video had me ranting for about 5 or 6 minutes, like off the cuff, about how annoying that was. Just don't. I'm trying real hard not to just blow my top, because it kills the game for me. Because again, why would I go play this game and deal with these unlock requirements for characters like Empress and Priestess and whatnot? I can just go play Magic Drop 3 and enjoy a game that kind of just looks and feels better. I do dig that they tried to offer some different modes, like the timed caravan mode, or the Path of Destiny or something like that. That's kind of like the magical adventure board game from the 3rd installment. But those can't save this game for me. I'd rather just play 3. That's it, really. If there's ever a time where they change it to where you don't have to unlock all these different characters, alright, but I don't know what their future plans are with this installment. I just really don't care. I'm sorry, guys. Should you play this? Well, I mean, it's cool that you can play it online against other people. I don't know if... I think Magic Joe 3 has Fightcade, so even then, they're kind of only have that point. But if you don't mind the unlock requirements, or maybe your favorite character just happens to be Best Girl Judgment, and you have to, like, unlock her, or something like that, then I guess so. But for me, it's probably just going to sit on my computer, in the hard drive, getting unplayed, while I continue to enjoy Magic Drop 3. So, thank you for listening to me. What is pretty much the first rant of this series, and I'm pretty sure more will be coming, because we do want to take a look at how arcade games have turned out past their initial arcade installments, and if any new ones pop up. And I'm pretty sure it's inevitable I'm going to hit the arcade game that's just going to make me go, what were they thinking? But enough of my ranting. Thank you very much, guys. And I guess a good way of summarizing this game is, to quote MacArthur Park, someone left the cake out in the rain, and I don't think I can take it, because it took so long to bake it. And I don't think anyone will ever have that recipe again. Take care, everybody.